Grief is not an easy path to go down and look at, and you really need something that is concrete, that works, and something that's gentle.
Crossroads is still the only hospice that requires a grief recovery and pays for it. So we're very proud of that distinction. This is part of what I consider to be very important. The care before, during, and after the need for palliative medicine. This is what we are.
So what the Grief Recovery Program really is, it's a 12-week program. I would say it's as much of a class on grief as it is a support group. It's really kind of a combination of both of these things, where you're going to really learn a lot about yourself and about things that don't work. And then we start looking at actually all the losses that a person has actually suffered during their life. And it can be anything from, losing a pet to loss of job, a divorce, or even the end of a romantic relationship. And then of course you have death. We're going to have people look at them and get an idea of, in a sense, what loss is still affecting them. It could be the most recent thing that they came in for. It could be something that transpired 10, 15, 20 years ago.
I had many emotions at the beginning of the program. I was scared, I was hopeful, I was amazed that I'd even found someone that would actually listen to me.
The process of walking a person through this is actually to figure out what's broken. And then all these little pieces, so to speak, all the little components of that relationship, the good and the bad. And what we're trying to do is basically piece those back together. What comes out of that is you end up with a person who has had a chance to speak their truth, right? And in doing so, they've set this break. And that then basically allows them to move on with their life.
It offered me such freedom, such healing, such positive moving forward that it's a good thing. It's a really good thing.
It's an amazing tool to help people really walk through their grief and kind of come out on the back end with better insight, better understanding, and more peace and more ease than when they began the program.
The most valuable asset of doing the grief recovery group is the freedom to move on without all that baggage and without all that sadness, and to know that I am whole and free to make myself available to my children and to somebody else to love in my life, and that this is freedom.
What the Grief Recovery Group did for me was it gave me a concrete method in which to process the grief. It actually was a life-changing event for me.